Let's subtract that
people
from the interview. Don't even mention that part. You know why? Because that don't work. We listen to you, motherfucker. Where's it? What am I listening to? You want me to be a protector, provider, but you don't have wisdom. You don't have balance. You don't have empathy. You're not loyal.
Welcome to Chew the Fat. I am your host, Smooth, and today we have a very special guest with us. As you can see, I'm not on my ordinary set. I took a ride to the NYC, and once you see who it is, you'll understand just why. And as you know, on the Chew the Fat with Smooth podcast, we allow our guests to introduce themselves. Here we are.
They know who I am.
All right.
That's it.
That's definitely a different one.
Yeah, for sure.
Different than what we had so far. So it makes sense though. It makes sense though. They should. You've been beating up on the internet like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing you everywhere, all kinds of podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
and people are very interested in what it is you have to say. So, for people that don't know Smart, how would you describe yourself?
I would say self-motivated, relentless, inspired, extremely optimistic for the future of our people in all walks of life, and definitely innovative. Yeah.
Nice. So, you're a boxer.
Yeah.
You're a rapper. You're a philanthropist.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What is it that drives you?
Diversification.
Exactly. What drives you and keeps you disciplined?
I mean, well, again, God has vested in us so many different talents, right? And you know, they say the richest place in the world.
Okay.
You know, what they say the richest place in the world is.
It depends on who you ask, right?
I know, right? So somebody was, you know, I had to, you know, see it from my perspective. So it's this thing going around saying the richest place in the world is the graveyard, right? Because some people leave with their ideas, and I'm like, man, fuck you. The richest place in the world is your subconscious mind, right? And that is the place where all the gooses that lay the golden eggs reside at.
Wow.
And so it's just that limitless potential that I know that I have, that it drives me to keep pushing the limits and keep trying to learn new things about myself and set new standards, new goals, and just trying to see how far I can take it, right? Because to be Black, African American, melanated, the original man, whatever you decide to call yourself, anything but a nigga. I know that I'm superior to every other race. So that I'm curious about how does my superiority translate into the world. And then it motivates me to apply myself in different areas. Like our brains produce neuromelanin, right? Like physically, you know, internally, we're superior to everybody else, right? I mean, so it's like, okay, how do I tap into that? How do I activate that, right? And repetition is what activates the God inside of all of our people. So, and then when you challenge yourself and then you diversify yourself and then you layer yourself, you desire to have different dreams and aspirations, then it's just a very powerful thing, and it's a very powerful experience. So that, you know, that drives me, right? Like lifting weights and saying, well, hey, I want to deadlift 800 pounds. I actually deadlift 800 pounds, right? I'm trying to get to the world record bench press. This was a couple years back when I was living in Vegas, and I got my bench press up to 700 pounds.
700 best press?
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
So, and just seeing when I apply myself, whatever I apply myself to, the results materialize in my favor. So I think that's what drives me, like searching for, well, is I have no limits, right? Like I don't have no limits. Our people, we don't have no limits, and we don't. So I would say that's the key factor, just trying to see how far or how powerful my superpowers are. I mean, yeah.
Cool. So I heard you talk about your past a lot, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of it, most people would consider to be unfortunate, right? Do you think that had something to do with how tenacious you are? Do you think that that's what gave you that tenacity?
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely. I mean, I think being 5 years old and having to figure out what dinner was going to be like, right? Like, what am I going to eat, right?
You had to figure that
At
out for
5 years
yourself
old,
as a child.
a million percent. So having a mother, I mean,
how does that? What does that look like? How do you prepare yourself at 5? When I was 5 years old, I couldn't even fathom that. Right?
Mhm.
What is it? What is it that you could even do for yourself? How do you fend for yourself at 5 years old?
Well, I mean, you go in the refrigerator about 50 times and you start to see there's nothing in there, right? And then now you're scavenging around the apartment because you can't really get
So
outside.
yeah, you had to be an innovator. You
right?
had to create.
You know, and then once you come to the realization that there's no food in the house, your hunger is going to give you the courage to leave the house when your mom is either high, sleep, or not there. She left you, right? So now that hunger, that thing of I gotta eat, it is driving me, right? And then now I'm okay. I look out the window. I can look around. I see, okay, I know there's a corner store. I've been to the corner store before. Let me go to the corner store. Let me ask them for something, or let me try to steal something, and then it starts from there. And then I'm hanging out with the older kids, and they're into survival, right?
Okay.
And I'm hanging out with them, and then now we stealing food from supermarkets and stealing clothes and stuff like that. So that's what that looked like. And I think because I didn't have a chance to have a typical or an appropriate childhood, the lack of having a healthy childhood created a overly developed situational awareness. And now at 5, at 6, at 7, at 8, 10, 11 years old, I have the consciousness of an adult to a certain extent.
Okay.
Right? I know, okay, I have to make money. I have to get food. I have to survive. It's not just old cartoons and cereal on Saturday mornings. And I think that level of responsibility given to me in a dysfunctional, inappropriate way developed a self-reliance not found in most children. And then over time, I grew up with that self-reliance, that determination, that focus, that ability to survive and figure things out and be resourceful, right? And then also my relationship with God. And God, was the beacon of light throughout all those ebbs and flows and every arc that I ever had, right? So God gave me the necessary level of consciousness, the necessary, in Islam, they say taqwa. God gave me that awareness that I needed to navigate through life in those early childhood years.
So with that, that's going to break most people, honestly. Most people will be broken. Most people are not going to get through that. Most people are going to continue on that path, right?
Mm-hmm,
so let's say they started stealing when they were from young, like 5 years old.
Yeah.
And having to hit the streets pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They usually continue that path and it ends them in, the two places. What do you think the key to turning that negative experience into a positive result is?
You gotta have a relationship with God because our foresight has limitations. We don't have the ability to see in the future. We don't have the ability to see how karma is gonna engage us. we don't know when death is knocking on the door, or things that we need to not do, or scenarios we need to avoid in order to stay in this realm, right? So I think you have to have a relationship with God, right? And as a child, I've been to juvenile, juvie and Spofford and Rikers Island, Horizon, Crossroads, Tryon, so that if you don't have a relationship with God, the protection you need to survive your learning curve won't be there. And you need a particular form of protection to protect you against things seen and unseen, to protect you against thoughts created in your subconscious mind by the devil, due to the devil having free reign to whisper to you and make suggestive conversations. So you have to have a relationship with God, because there's things that's going to attack you that you can't see, right? Like,
So
if a mosquito is about to bite you, and I said, hey man, have you ever seen a mosquito's baby? They reproduce, right?
yeah,
So you ever see a mosquito's baby? You know how small a mosquito baby's got to be, right? I've
yeah,
never seen a mosquito's baby,
the larva,
right? And right,
yeah.
I mean, come on, right? You don't know where that shit goes, right? If you look at mosquitoes, a lot of times we know the mosquito got us after the fact, when there's a little bump on our skin and we itching and we scratching, right? Because we got bit by the mosquito. So that's how, certain dark entities and energies and spirits attack us. So you have to have that protection by God. That protection has to come from a higher power. And then through that, you're able to make mistakes, right?
Okay. So there's something that people say, seeking God's face, right? At what point in your life did you decide you wanted to turn to God, right? And what does that even look like? How do you just one day come from being in the streets and then now you're like, okay, now I want to talk about God? What is it in your life that happened to you?
You see the cup, right?
Yeah.
If you're thirsty, only thing you're looking for is something to quench the thirst, right? If right now this room, the heat increased by 200 degrees, only thing you trying to do is, hey man, I gotta take that jacket off.
Sure.
Man, what's going on, man? Now you're trying to figure out how to, get
escape. I gotta get out of here. That's
right? So, things that happen to you moves you to things.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And when you feel like I felt, I didn't have the power to overcome the obstacles in front of me, then I asked God for help. Right?
Okay.
It was a cry for help. And then that cry for help opened the door for him to come into my life and, and for me to create a relationship with God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were able to just, at some point, just ask for help, and then, what they refer to as seeking God's face, right?
But we ask through our pain. We ask through our emotions. We ask through, reactions. So, everybody's pain threshold is different.
Surely. Yeah.
So if your pain threshold starts to wane, now you're like, you're crying for help. You're thinking about, when is this going to stop? Right? Those are questions, right? Like,
Yeah, it sounds like you're describing a breaking point.
Yeah. And that breaking point is a form of communication that God obliges. That God engages you, right? Like, and God will either remove whatever is causing you that pain or uncomfortability, or give you an answer or reason why you're going through that, and then instinctively you'll understand, and then you'll be able to increase your level of durability to deal with whatever test God is putting you through.
Wow. So I'm trying to figure out like when this actually happened, because it's like a lot of people want to do it. They want to do right. like consciously, most of us know whether what it is that we're doing is right, whether what it is we're doing is wrong. Do you think that a person who is, let's just say, a successful criminal, will they ever have that opportunity to say, you know what, I'm just going to change one day, or will they just continue until something bad happened to them, or their life start getting screwed up?
Well, there's no wrong way to do right, and there's no right way to do wrong. See, so there's no wrong way to do right, meaning if you expect to receive instant gratification because you're doing things the right way, it's not how it typically works.
Got it.
And there's no right way to do wrong. So just because you feel you got away with it, karmically, you don't get away with anything. So there's a level of accountability that God is going to make you take. And if you have ego and you have arrogance and you feel like because you haven't instantaneously received punishment for the wrong that you're doing, that you're getting over, bro, like, you don't understand how God works. You damn sure don't understand how karma works. There's no right way to do wrong. So it's in every man's best interest to be on a parallel path and try your best to live life in a way that is appealing and pleasing to God, right? And not letting man, social media, societal acceptances of mindsets that are really just a cover up for psychosis. Like, people are fucking psychotic, bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever, right?
And, mental health nowadays is worse than it's ever been.
So, you gotta understand it's always in your best interest to do things the right way, and don't think for 1 second that you can skip out on karma, because karma always comes to collect.
So you believe in karma? So I'm going to ask, are you religious?
I'm Muslim.
You Muslim?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been Muslim?
Over 10 years, I would say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I understand that you have to be grounded. Do you feel like that helps being spiritually grounded?
What do you mean? You had to be. What's the question? You gotta be.
So, like, once you turn to Islam, do you feel like that spiritually grounded you?
No, I don't think the religion itself grounded me. I think my relationship with God and having God reveal certain things to me is what grounded me. Like, God made me very, very much aware of his existence, and he confirmed it for me. So I think that's what grounded me and set the table for me to be receptive to the religion or the practices of the religion that I follow or I deem is the right approach for me. So I would just say, like, my relationship with God is what grounded me, and the proof of concept, the proof of existence that God showed me, which scared me a little bit, and it really just made me realize, like, oh, this is real. God's the real deal. So I would say that is what grounded me. Now, secondary, of course, the religion. I think understanding that, Islam is a beautiful religion, and it's so much layers to it. So I think that contributes to me being a grounded person. But the primary thing that created my groundedness is God letting me know that he does exist.
Got it. So you've been very successful now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you offer to people that want to become successful? Because there's a lot of things that we see, like as far as the music game. Mm-hmm. I know you've been at least part of that, right? You dipped into it.
So a cracker on the corner with his hand out, that shit funny. You know how hard it is for a black man to get money living in America? For the Cartiers and Sky Dwellers, it was handcuffs. Judge sat me down, I stayed sturdy, had to stand up. Daddy gone, mama getting high, I had to man up. Blueprint weird, nah, wasn't no plans for us. Couldn't get a loan, it wasn't no grants for us. My dog just lost his life putting that hammer up. Money on your head, I pay for the spin like a laundromat. Tide can't get the stain out, you gotta go to God for that. My block been getting money since the 80s. That's an artifact. Cause when you getting money off a hard, it make it hard to rap. Granddaddy died. Watch him leave. That shit won't go away. His life, you will be tested. That's what they always say. But even if you pass that shit, sometimes that pain won't go away. Hollows in that effing duct tape when I load the K. Got the devil at my door. But can't no demon take control of me. Angels all around. I thank Allah before I go to sleep. Every breath, I take a blessing. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Because sometimes God gives you flowers, but oftentimes he's just planting seeds. You can't eat the fruit but hate the tree. If the process was a person, then I'm him. That's why they hated me. Saying so, yeah. I mean, I fuck with the music.
Yeah, that's like a good 32 bars right there.
Something like that. Oh yeah, you got you got down pat. You know what I mean? You gotta count bars, man.
Hey, I was actually into that music thing for a little bit. I managed producers,
right,
and artists. Did some videography and stuff like that. I hated the game, to be honest. It's a lot of politics. I know you've been in it enough to at least witness how horrible the music is and what it's doing to people. So
relative, right? But I didn't want you to veer too much away from that question because I had some insight to that. You were talking about success, right?
Because I want to tie that in because that's one of the things that people feel like is being successful, right? And a lot of times we think that the music might be, or we might be, our way might be balling or, the streets.
Right.
And to a lot of people, that's the success we glorify in our community, unfortunately, right?
Well, I mean, there's a unhealthy perception or perspective of what Black masculinity is in the ghetto. And that interpretation is developed minus the input of a man in the home. There's a lot of little Black boys in the ghetto grew up in single parent homes, and the mother can't raise a child. She could just maintain a child. So she buy clothes, food. You're just maintaining them. You're not raising them. You're not developing him to be a man. So we leave home when we get of age, and now we're just trying to figure out. And then, what's the greatest inspiration for us? Music, movies, videos, media, right? Social media. And now you feel like, I gotta have this. If I don't have this, I'm nothing. If I'm not overly aggressive, I'm nothing. If I'm not emotional, I'm weak. It's like, you know what I mean? So we don't have really clear cut examples on how to be productive members of society. We don't have clear cut information on how to develop our communities and how to live in a community that's going to actually thrive and function under collective economics, right?
Right.
So it's tough. And this is why conversations like this is important. So now we can start informing the next generation and the current generation of just the type of accountability that needs to be created, not taken, right? We gotta start creating accountability, right? Not taking accountability for something that we weren't the originators of. Like, we're not here to apologize for our Hitler putting us in our gas chamber and hitting us with the gas, because we're the only group of oppressed people still living in the land of our Holocaust, expecting the people who put us in the Holocaust to take us out of the Holocaust, right? So this is strategic to oppress us. I don't want to jump all over the place, but it's like, it's a lot. And if we don't unpack it at least 70%, we'll never know why these things just actually happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of the things that I noticed, right? There's too many of us, like you mentioned, that are growing up in a single parent household. Last I checked, for us, it's just hovering around 80%. That's crazy. So it's like, how do we fix that, right? When you have mothers trying to do part of it, you can't get that structure or discipline necessary to be a man.
But it's the woman feeling that she doesn't need the father, right? Because if she felt she needed the father, and there was a serious question that the father wasn't going to be in that child's life, or didn't have the ability to produce for that child once it actually, comes into this world, then you wouldn't have the baby. You would use protection. You would use birth control. Unfortunately, but you would use abortions. So I think the lack of value that Black women have for Black men, and then their overestimation of their personal value in terms of child development is what leads to the self-destructive life or mindset that's going to be passed to that child, due to the mother having an inflated sense of herself in terms of parenting. She thinks she could just do it all, and you can't, right? So I think, I think that's important to be aware of too as well.
So, believe it or not, the last video I actually dropped was titled "How Black Men Have Lost Their Perceived Value," and I say perceived value.
Yeah,
right?
That's like,
because it's not real.
That's conditional.
Right? Yeah,
right?
And we've been conditioned in many ways through social media has ruined it. Dating apps have given women an abundance of access to men who generally wouldn't take them seriously, but because they could get that guy.
Black women use dating apps like crowdfunding websites.
No, that's valid.
That's their Kickstarter. That's their Indiegogo. That's their GoFundMe. They use dating apps as a form for, possible, revenue, right? And the reality is this, right? We talk about perceived value. Well, who's creating the perception? Perception can be manipulated and curated, right?
Surely.
So the Black man's value is his history. What is the Black man's value? Well, we created math. We're the fathers of civilization. We're the fathers of medicine, mathematics, psychology, sociology, martial arts, strategy, war, economic, like aerodynamics. The value, the list of the things that's on the Black man's value sheet is longer than the Great Wall of China. And the problem is, there's a fear of white genetic annihilation. So colonizers and oppressors and white men, for lack of better words, they're afraid to be erased by us. So what they're going to do, they're going to try the best to devalue us, use their platforms, use their media, right? They're going to try to over sexualize and hyper-emasculate our women, then emasculate us, right? So it's a very slippery slope, man.
So the one thing I wanted to ask about that is, in my opinion, as men, we the leaders, right?
For sure.
So when we lead, that means that we are responsible, at least for most of what happens. So what could we do as men?
But leadership has to be applied to a readily available and willing participant. If you trying to force an elephant on the shoestring to go your direction, not only is that shoestring gonna pop, but you're gonna look like a pancake, because that elephant is gonna put the force of their full body weight on your skull and drive you in the ground like a hammer is driving a nail into a piece of wood when the construction worker is building a house. So
right.
we have to stop this thing of, I'm supposed to lead any woman under any scenario.
No,
and it's just not sustainable.
That isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying,
a lot of times that's the expectation, and a lot of times that's the expectation, unfortunately. But go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that outside sources, you can write them off. They're not going to help us, right?
Yeah.
Women are not going to fix this. Secondly, that's what I think. Women are not going to fix this. So what I would say is, at this point, what could we do as men to improve this problem? Because meditation.
Meditation is key. And, understanding that how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. Your thoughts create the world that you live in. So now it's time to create a world that we live in that is conducive to us being happy, being at peace, and being loved and having the opportunity to be loving. So you have to protect yourself with your vibration, and your vibration is generated and created by the thoughts you think repetitively and repetitiously in your subconscious mind. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. So when I sit there I gotta architect the self-image of myself that is going to be placed on a wall inside the mansion that I own in my subconscious mind. And when I look at that canvas and I look at that picture and I look at that painting of myself, it is better than the 16th chapel, baby. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, yo, I'm beautiful, I'm blessed, I'm strong. I'm everything to do with good. Anything associated with good, and it's in the dictionary, you're going to see a little small picture of my face in that motherfucker. And then when you start thinking like that, you start to develop your confidence, you start to develop your self-esteem. That becomes a vibration. Vibration has a gravitational pull. It also repels people away. So it forces people to show you who they are because you are actually displaying to that person that's in your life who you are. And that person has no choice but to react to the vibration. That person has no choice but to react to universal law. And I'm going to either give you the boot or reel you in, right?
Got it.
So once we start to learn how to project, and women do it all the time, they'll put their little $5 outfit on, got their body done, right? Fucking go get a 2-liter soda worth of perfume and pour it over their head. And they trying to set themselves on fire for Charles Manson, right? And they smelling like you, like, what the fuck? Wow, smelling good, right? They're projecting something. And then now they're attracting you, but they're engaging you through your lower desires. So they're creating a situation where they're attracting men who want to fuck because they're sexualizing themselves, and they're overly sexualized and overly stimulated. But you don't even want that shit because that's not sustainable. So now this man is coming to your life. You don't even fucking want him. Now we have to learn as men to do the same thing. Dress up yourself with your thoughts. Clothes don't make the man makes the clothes.
True.
And those clothes that we make are the affirmations that we think in our subconscious mind. Our sewing machine is in our subconscious mind, and we're tailoring the fabrics of consciousness. We're tailoring the fabrics of confidence. We're tailoring the fabric of ambition. We're tailoring the fabric of empathy. We're tailoring the fabric of provision, receiving, right? And we're tailoring the fabrics of loyalty. We're tailoring the fabrics of honesty, and we're putting that shit on. We putting that shit on, and then when we step outside, we're fully clothed black man, and we're clothed with our honor. We're clothed with our integrity. We're clothed with these positive affirmations and these thoughts that we think about ourselves all goddamn day long. Now that's a vibration for your ass. And then when you're walking outside, there are going to be women that are good and righteous that's attracted to what you're putting out, because what you put out is attracting those particular type of women.
I hope y'all listening up, gents, for real, because this is real game right here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that, because the main complaint, I listen to women, right? And one of their main complaints is that, look, I listen to the gripes, and one of the main complaints is that they want us to lead, right? Well, at least they say they do. They say they want us to lead, and many times we'll talk. And
see, the game is backwards. This is what men think. Not to cut you off.
All right.
But let me cook. We're not supposed to listen to them. They're supposed to listen to us. That's the biggest problem. Women have a genetic advantage in the area of listening. We don't. But because media, society is working overtime to reverse the roles, even the basic forms of communication and the communication skills needed to communicate is off and is an imbalance. Like, here to listen to you, you need to listen to me. And then this is the goddamn problem. Everybody, the black woman, don't know when to shut the fuck up. You don't know when to shut the fuck up. You got an opinion about every goddamn thing, and the motherfucker can't tell you nothing. Black men, we've been listening for a long goddamn time. At what point do you say, look, shut the fuck up?
Damn. So I don't want you to get it twisted, because
Yeah.
when I say I listen to black women, it's not
No,
like
yeah.
in my household I'm sitting here like, hey babe, which one? That ain't how it go down. Not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
close,
yeah.
right? So, but what I am saying is that for analytical purposes,
Right.
because I do content, and sometimes we end up talking to women sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And some of their gripes, they're saying, oh well, we need leaders. Y'all not doing
It
this.
don't matter.
So I could
Listen,
appreciate what it is that you would say when you
subtract
say,
that.
look,
Look, let's subtract
attract
that
people.
from the interview. Don't even mention that part. You know why? Because that shit don't work. We listen to you motherfuckers. Where's it? What am I listening to? You want me to be a protector, provider, but you don't have wisdom. You don't have balance. You don't have empathy. You're not loyal. You want me to be a provider, and if anything goes wrong, you mismanage the provisions. You want me to be a protector, but you put me in jeopardy at the drop of a fucking dime. When your emotions swing any type of way like a pendulum, get the fuck out of here. I'm not listening to a motherfucking thing you got to say. And the fact that you uninformed women have been exalted to the heads of the families, and unfortunately the heads of the households. This is why so much dysfunction, and we don't have that nuclear family unit that you was talking about, right? The black man has to be the head of the household, and that has to go on for some time before we can be open to listening to what you got the fuck to say. No, you're going to listen to what I got to say. And I'm not about to be going back and forth, complaining, nothing. I'm giving you instructions. I'm giving you direction. I'm leading you to this destination. And this destination is the only thing that I'm laser focused on. And if I don't have a life partner that's going to contribute to the transportation in terms of getting to this destination, then get the fuck out my life. And I don't give a fuck what you got to say. Snap your teeth, smack your lips, shake your whatever the fuck. Just go that way, and don't come back. You serve me no purpose. You're not even valuable at all. And I think brothers need to learn how to put their foot down and stop this. You don't value yourself shit. First of all, we're outnumbered by them. It's more of them than us. So if you're a black woman, you get a good brother. You lucky to have that brother. You don't cherish that brother. You make that brother feel like he's expendable. You make that brother feel like he's them cheap ass fucking eyelashes that you glue on your fucking skull every morning before you leave out.
Yeah.
No.
So there's a few problems. There's a few problems with
I got you. Let me
that.
say this for the brothers in the back that don't have the nuts to say this. All you black women out there that don't value black men, fuck you. Go get somebody that don't want you because you don't want you. And we got to stop having this, we're going to save everybody. Noah's Ark had to leave at a certain time. That shit docked and it had to go. And the danger is, and this is why I said it's so important, because you know how many black men go to jail, catch domestic violence cases, get killed, get murdered over these rodents and these roaches and these so-called black women who destroy these men. And then these are good brothers, right? These are good brothers. So there's a bunch of beautiful black women. I'm advocating for our brothers to go get with that crop and that group of women and stop chasing behind these fucking nasty bitches. You got women and you got bitches. And there's bitches in every culture. We know what the white boys look like. If you ever seen Casino, there's a lot of gingers out there running around in the white community. All right. So
Okay.
but I just wanted to get that out there. Like we got to be more assertive.
Yeah,
as men.
And I definitely understand that. And I tell men that we need to ignore certain women. They should just be out of the marketplace altogether. Period. And eliminate it, right? Let them just, like KS used to say.
How many brothers lost their life to women? How many women backdoored men? How many women instigated murder between two brothers? And then when that brother got murdered, he's gone. And when a brother that murdered him went to jail, that same bitch that they fought over, she going to fuck somebody else now, and she gets to go on with her life. But 2 lives was lost for some whack ass pussy. I don't get that. So this is why I'm hard, because this is evil shit going on, and these bitches out here want to instigate shit, want to destroy men. You know how many men gave a fucking bitch their life savings, trying to be a provider, and the chick just used them up and got rid of him, and then he blew his brains out, and she's on to the next. We gotta know that there's good women out there and there's pieces of shit dogs out there. Stop dealing with the dogs. Chase the Oprahs. Leave the roaches the fuck alone.
Yeah, and the only way to do that is to stop validating them. I
Yes,
think that us as men, because
I
I'm
agree.
always about control with what you can control,
Mhm.
right? Control what you can control. So on social media, stop liking them joints. For they're not offering anything of substance, they're not
Right.
virtuous. Ignore them. If they
Right.
doing too much out here, they in the streets. Ignore them. If they just out here
And the best control is no control. See, it's the best control. Best control is no control. You heard? So you be focused on yourself. I don't. Cool. I'm focused on myself, and then that puts me. You know how powerful the black man is. So you're gonna attract phenomenal, amazing black women in your life when you learn to develop, appreciate, and value yourself, and turn all that energy inward.
Oh yeah.
Turn all those people pleasing, like a motherfucker leave New York and hop on a plane to try to get to China for some pussy, but won't go to a supermarket and buy some organic, real fruits and vitamins that's gonna elongate that brother's life. Priorities is mixed up when it comes to pussy.
The main problem with that is that women
Yeah.
don't respect it when you offer too much and don't require anything. Women will never respect you. If you sitting here offering a whole bunch of things that she didn't earn,
Yeah.
she's not gonna respect that. She's gonna go ahead and mess with the dude who don't have to do nothing just because she
Yeah,
like him.
but another thing too is this is not fuck them. I said it. You would do all that shit and have requirements, and her justification for doing what she does would be you're controlling. So bitches got an excuse for everything.
Oh yeah, well you don't tell them to do anything.
Yeah.
You have to, like you said, you would attract these type of women who
Mhm.
do this by default.
Yeah, but
Right?
they do it by default, but you also have to give instruction. So a lot of brothers, they go wrong because they don't give instruction. They don't have no real plans. So you're sitting there expecting this woman to really take care of you and to really lead you, but you want to have the benefits of leadership, but you're actually not delegating anything. You want to receive the submission from the woman, but you're actually not doing nothing. And just your mere presence as a male does not give you the perks of what a man is to receive from a woman. So now it goes both ways. Once you find that good woman, you got to lead. You got to give instructions. You got to be very clear, concise, right? And a lot of times that's not the case. And then you mad at the woman when she just doing her best. She don't know a knee from her elbow. She supposed to follow you, but you act like you leading her, but you subconsciously and indirectly following her.
Absolutely. So now when I say they do these things by default, meaning they have a spirit that is receptive, whereas they are awaiting these types of instructions. They are willing to have a leader,
Yeah.
right? And they're soft, they're feminine, they're articulate. They have these things that also will attract you. And she's going to, of course, look for your leadership. But after a while, there's certain things, once you instruct her, she on autopilot. She already know.
Right.
Sometimes she could think for you, not in a way where she's making final decisions, but she can actually have some valuable insight.
Because she has an understanding due to her dealings with you. And then
Exactly.
now, due to those dealings with you, she's now a reflection of you. So she can take initiative, and that initiative is still relevant to your principalities, and and that initiative that she takes will always be in the vicinity of your values and your beliefs, right? Because she's gonna always stay in the vicinity of what you feel is right because she's a reflection of you.
I don't want to stay too long on the relationship aspect, just because I beat that in the head like crazy. I done did that so many times. People tired of me talking about it, but I definitely wanted your opinion on it and what you think about it. But before we get off of it, pause. What do you think would actually what a virtuous woman looks like? What type of attributes would you say for gentlemen who are struggling finding what it is that they're doing? They found themselves, they doing what they do. What is it that they should require from a woman? What is it that
they have to be what a man is supposed to be? And that's where I think brothers go wrong. Because if you look, you can be deceived. If you attract, can't be deceived. See, if you look for it, you can be deceived. If you're attracting, that's what it is. So how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. A vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. So if you are a provider, if you are a protector, if you do have emotional intelligence and you never let your emotions supersede your intelligence, you're rational, you're not irrational, you're not doubtful, you're not bitchy, you're not physically, mentally, verbally, spiritually, economically abusive, and you develop these characteristics and these traits, then the woman is your balance. She's going to naturally fit everything that you possess. And where she meets you at, it's going to align, right? Everything is going to be in alignment. But it doesn't, you don't search for that. You develop that, then you project that, and then you attract that, then you receive that, then you do right by that, and then you're grateful for that, which is that beautiful Black woman.
Now, here's what I would say about that. So let's say let's just say yourself, right? You're successful, you got notoriety, you know, everybody know what's going on with you, right?
Yeah.
You're going to attract.
That's actually a real thing.
Yeah, and you're going to attract a lot of women. You're going to also attract trash too. Everybody, because they're going to be attracted to.
It's a difference between people trying to project their energy into your gravitational pull and you attracting things with your gravitational pull. See? So it's not attracting, it's not attraction. That's someone trying to test me and see if they can get into my cipher or get into the vicinity of who I am, because from afar, they think they like who I am. But once they get a little bit closer, you're met at the door by that vibration. Like a security trying to card you outside the club and your monkey ass is underage, so you can't get in.
Okay.
Right? So you this is the people, and again, this is why these conversations is important, because a lot of people speak on this shit, don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Yeah.
You know, if you are going to attract what you think repetitiously. So if you don't understand what you're thinking subconsciously, and the only way to identify what you're thinking subconsciously, like I told you earlier, is meditation. That's the key. Have to meditate. You have to quiet, silence, and center your mind. And then once you center your mind, you can start engaging all the aspects and areas and parts of your mind and correct and right some of those wrongs. Recalibrate, pivot, change the paradigm. And then now you start to think differently subconsciously. Now you're going to attract things to you that's differently. And whoever appreciates you from afar doesn't matter, because there's somebody outside that is working the boards. I don't see him right now. Hey, buddy, if you're there, knock on the door, man. What's his name? Can you hear me? I know you're doing a mic check. Is it on autopilot? Did you knock on the door?
He might be on the autopilot. But
he probably don't see.
Yeah.
So I can't see. I mean, I don't know what he's doing right now. Yeah. So it doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah.
So
the only reason I would even say that is because there's a lot of good brothers out here who get their life right? But then they still don't have the ability to discern a good woman from a horrible woman. Psychologically, a woman is able to show you her representative for up to 2 years without a problem.
She's not.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. When you understand the language of nonverbal communication,
yeah.
When you understand and you can identify when your energy is repelling someone out of your life, that woman will not be at peace with you, that you won't be at peace with that woman. It's going to be constant arguments and beefs and ups and downs. You're going to get all the signs to let this motherfucker go. And again, someone trying to project their energy into your gravitational pull is different from someone being attracted into your life due to your gravitational pull. So that's the difference, because the universal law is you repel and you attract simultaneously at the same time. That's the polarity. That's the duality of it all. So I'm bringing things into my life and I'm keeping things out of my life. I'm bringing things into my life and I'm making things leave my life. That's what your energy does. And it's just a constant, assembly line of frequencies, right? But you're not consistent with it because you're not meditating. So your subconscious mind is running on autopilot, and consciously you're dealing with all these issues, but you don't realize that you can't change shit because you haven't engaged and activated your subconscious mind, which you need to do through meditation. And then once you do that, now you're able to start curating and creating your thoughts how you need them to be to bring this woman or this person or this scenario into your life.
What percent of men do you think have that ability, or are using that ability? Let's not say because we all, I believe, have the ability.
That's right.
But how many?
Every black man got it.
What percent of men do you think are actually exercising that tool, that
I don't know.
subconscious mind?
I don't know.
If you had to guess,
I don't know. Analytics and numbers like that.
I would say it's. Let's just say I think it's low. Just based on what you see, you probably think it was low when you watch what's going on with men and the women that they choose,
right,
and different things going on. So what I'm saying is that it's a hard fight because we really want men to do better, but until we start making better choices, it's going to be like this. I think we're going to have to start tapping into subconscious.
Meditation is important, and the better choices that we need to make is one of them primarily is we need to choose to pray and go to God for discernment. Second thing is we need to choose to actually meditate and be more intentional with what it is that we want, and not settle for anything outside of that because we don't have to. Yeah,
got it. So there is one thing I do want to focus on. We're going to switch gears just a little bit.
Okay.
So we know our community is behind on many things, economically, socially.
I believe so.
Right, we can keep going, but
I don't think we're behind.
Okay.
I think we don't realize that we're actually ahead. I think we don't realize that we actually have all the tools and resources. The internet has made the world smaller, so our relationship with Africa has the opportunity to develop quicker than it ever has given us an opportunity to do so. I mean, it's not far-fetched for us to say, oh, hey, what's Ghana like right now? I can go on Instagram right now and look at African girls with big booties in Ghana, but I don't have to look at the distraction that's being marketed in the video. I can look into the video and see the background and see Africa and see the trees and see the land and get a visualization or a visual of what Africa looks like. So I don't think we're behind. I think that we're not aware of the opportunities that we have right now to take us further than we've ever, even been. So I think it's just a lack of awareness, not the actual lack of position.
Yeah, the only reason I say behind because there's a lot of things that we just don't have the capital on right now. We don't have as much ownership as we should have.
Bro, you got it. Ownership and capital is two different things. The type of consuming and the mindset behind the consumer is where the focus should be. There's more money in the ghetto than Dubai. But the spending habits of the people that live in the ghetto is why the ghetto doesn't look like Dubai. So it's not the lack of finances, it's the lack of financial literacy to allocate those finances into areas that uplifts the community and uplifts the people in that actual, community.
And this is exactly what we're getting at. So what do we do? What do we do to improve that, to change directions to where we start bringing our money into places that's going to help our actual growth?
Well, the first thing is, like I said, meditation, prayer, developing a new relationship with God and not letting anybody curate how our approach to developing our relationship with God is going to actually be, right? Not letting church dictate through sermon, not letting the mosque dictate through Juma, how do we talk to Allah? How do you talk to God? Or how do you talk to Christ? No, you're going to talk to God how the fuck you want to talk to God. I'm not picking up no fucking Quran to talk to God. I don't got to call God. I got to pick up my phone and call God. Hey, what's up, man? We got Bluetooth at this motherfucker, right? And then through that relationship with God, got to have meditation. Then we need constant town hall meetings, community groups, meetups, workshops, talking about generational wealth, talking about how to allocate the capital in ways that's going to, big up the community, like identifying an actual number for generational wealth. And the number that I've generated and developed is living expenses times 4, times 12, times 100. Your living expenses times 4, times 12, times 100 is one generation of wealth. So that you have it. Now you know what to financially work towards with the energy God has given you. And then when you have groups and meetings, and then now you could create this organized collective or coalition of neighbors and people who live in the same village. Now you can get the inspiration to reach those financial goals that much more faster and easier.
Right. So the other part of that was the ownership, right? Like, let's just say, like even this, right? I'm doing a podcast. I got my own studio in South Jersey and everything, but guess what? I don't have my own platform. And being that I'm in...
No. You do have your platform. The platform is the neuromelanin that's in your fucking skull right now. That's oozing and flowing pores through your fucking brain right now. You got neuromelanin. All you have to do is activate that by being intentional and saying, I am doing this. I am the owner of this, right? And learn to not let other people's success or current ownership discourage you or deter you from acquiring your own ownership. You already have it because you are what you don't think you have. It's not about these fucking cameras, the backdrop. It's about you, your energy. See how you put together the questions, you develop the questions, your conversational skills, your conversationalist, right? Your ability to articulate your thoughts. That's what it is. You already have it, God. So now you got to just be like, okay, let me just get intentional. Let there be light out this motherfucker.
No, I certainly appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate goal, right? I do want.
Don't make it the ultimate goal. Make it the immediate short term goal and say, well, hey, I'm going to start increasing my advertisement. I'm going to start understanding how to reach out to companies and have them advertise over the episodes that I create, right? Let me set some financial goals. Let me look at the business of this thing here that I'm doing. What's the CPM? The cost per every 1,000 views, right? I'm supposed to get $20 per 1,000 views. Well, how do I get that? Like, how can I create a website where I sell the sound bites of this? Maybe check it out. That's why I didn't want to sign that shit, but I'll give you some game. I'm not going to sign that shit, but I'm going to give you some game as if I signed it, right? You could take the sound clips and the audio of all the motivational shit that you got and make audio books and ebooks and sell them shits, right? And then start purchasing your own. There's no limit to what you can do when you decide to do whatever it is the fuck that you want to do. Because the black man is definitely the G, the O, the D.
What I want to do is have a website of my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because, for one, if I'm putting towards all the work and you just hosting it, I don't think that's a fair shake to me, right? And for two, I don't want you to be able to suppress what it is that I'm saying because
But
you
you're
don't
talking
like
about
it.
things that don't matter. All you're doing is engaging your lack of confidence in your ability to execute how you need to execute to acquire what it is that you want exactly in the form that you want it as. Shit doesn't even matter. Give that shit your attention span, God. Your power is in your attention span. I'm only focused on executing. You can go on Fiverr right now, find a web builder for maybe $100 an hour, get a website built in the same day. That's one. Number two, functionalities and what do you want to have on the website. You just identify that and communicate that to your web developer, and boom, site is up. Fuck you. You can't censor me.
Absolutely. And all of this is in the works, right?
Got
so
you.
I want you to think that I'm not on it.
No, I mean, yeah, sure.
Believe me, I'm on it. The only reason why I'm using the current platforms as it is because that's where
You're being resourceful.
A lot of us are. Yeah.
You're being resourceful.
It's not to say I wouldn't stop doing that.
Nothing.
But I still want
you're being resourceful
to be exclusive.
Just keep the door open for the other options and opportunities that you have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is that I want to do because I want to encourage more of us to just think bigger because a lot of times we don't. We put caps on ourselves. We put ceilings on ourselves.
Because there's an oversaturation. There's no authenticity in terms of creation. So there's an oversaturation, and due to that oversaturation, there's no authenticity in terms of innovation and creation. So everybody wants to be on a podcast, but your podcast, people don't understand
what goes into it.
No, people don't understand like why I'm as big as I am. Pause. I add value. I'm not just saying some bullshit. I believe what I say. I have applied. I'm a practitioner of what I'm saying, right? And what I'm saying works. And we're in desperate, dire need of this information that I possess. So I'm working relentlessly to get this message out to my people. That message that we are gods. That message of how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. That message of we're the only people living in the land of our Holocaust. We got to get to Africa because the Jews had to leave Germany. This is our fucking Germany. And those are the so-called Jews. And we've been in the Holocaust for over 400 years, living in the land where there's been the original, the genesis of our Holocaust is here. So we're expecting people to do right by us when they just said that we were 3/5 of a man It just said that we were niggas, monkeys, and we didn't have the right or ability to sit next to them and eat. The fuck? So we sitting here begging. That's the message to get out. We're the strongest race on the planet. So I'm working. I'm adding value through these conversations. This is why I'm successful, right? Because I give a fuck about my brother, and I want for my brother what I want for myself. I want for my sister what I want for myself, and that's prevalent and relevant in all my conversations. So I'm saying it to say this. Stop trying to dick ride and copycat somebody else. Identify who the fuck you are, and then develop yourself to add value to the people that you're going to share who you are with.
Most of the time, a lot of us are just living life day to day. A lot of us are satisfied with mediocrity and think that that's cool.
Right.
But I'm like, listen, man, you better than that.
Right.
You got to get out of that cycle. So anytime that I know you do it, but I also do it to where if I see a young man, I will pull his coat. I don't think we have enough of that anymore where we will actually take a youngin' and pull his coat and try to give him some game. And I think that's important, especially the fact that a lot of us don't have that positive male role model in the home. I feel it now to be my civic duty to actually pull a coat every now and then, like, yo, bro, let me put you on some game. This is how credit works. This is how you understand it. This is how you get your finances right. What is it that you're trying to do? Oh, you know how to do videos? I do that. You know how to write scripts? I do that. I'm gonna give you a program, and this is gonna help format it for you. So now you can be effective at what it is that you can do.
It's a fact.
So I know you motivated by that. You've done a lot of philanthropy. I've heard you've done food drives and
that ain't for the camera though.
That ain't for the camera though.
I do it.
Yeah. So we appreciate that, and hopefully you continue to do that because
for sure.
As a lot of us don't do that. There are some cats who do it, and I commend each and every one of you men who do that. But I think we should more when you start to receive success to the point where you can afford to give back. And even if you can't give monetarily, everybody could give out some game. Everybody could help a youngster who's trying to find a way, help them find a way.
But to touch briefly on that, I'll say this. Giving never diminishes, it always increases. So when you have the intention on giving, God will bless you and give you the ability to give based upon the intention. And the amount that God gives you to give is based upon your intention and your intentions on giving. So that's important. So it's not about how much you have or if you're in your heart is your litmus test, right? Your heart is how God is going to gauge what to bestow upon you to give. And that's the funniest thing that I've found out about just doing community work and giving.
The entertainment game, a lot of us lack the knowledge of how to navigate through this particular industry. You know, now that we're seeing a whole bunch of weird stuff going on, people don't like, we're not going to get too much into that, but you know what I'm talking about. It's a whole lot of weird stuff going on when you try to get in. And they're not going to try everybody, but they'll try who they want, right? Or who they think might be with some weirdo stuff and everything. With all of this stuff in the way, and people are willing to sell their souls just in the name of $1, how do we combat that? Because that carrot that they holding on that stick seems like it's worth their soul.
Right. Well, I think it's just understanding your value position and the value in the art that you create or the content that you create. So it's a combination of two things: identifying your value position and then the value position of the art or content you create. And then the third thing is you got to create your own industry relevant to whatever you're actually doing. So that way you control every destiny that's associated with whatever it is that you're doing. We have to go into now creating our own industries and not relying on people who are despicable humans to do good business in the industry that they monopolize.
Yeah, because I had to learn that on my own. The first thing that I ever wanted to do was write scripts. I realized
it's a good app called Cell Text.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yep. Yeah. And I had Final Draft too. So when I started to realize the process that you could send your script out And even if you have it copyrighted, people can
Mhm.
still take bits and pieces enough to change it
fair rights
up.
use and shit like
Yeah,
that.
and it'll get caught up in the mix. It's extremely difficult. So,
Like I
right.
seen a new Hellboy movie, and looked like he got the red paint spray painted. It just looked
yeah. Nah, it's
like you can
crazy.
tell they paid for the licensing and I don't fucking know. But that wasn't no Hellboy production I'm used to seeing.
There was some other shit, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've actually seen I've seen people copy my stuff before, right?
Yeah.
And it might be just enough for them to be able to get away with it.
Imitation is a form of flattery, is what they say.
Yeah, but then they made bread off of it. I didn't as an independent, so
Right.
I mean, it still hit hard. I mean,
right. I got
still,
you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I realized I'm not sending scripts to people. I'm going to learn how to film it on my own.
Right.
I'm going to learn how to edit on my own. I'm going to learn every aspect of it. I'm going to learn how to promote.
It's powerful.
And I feel like the more that you can,
don't limit yourself by taking on the responsibilities that are distributed when you have a team. Put yourself in a position to attract the adequate team that you need, and your passion, your diligence, your resilience, your relentlessness is what makes you appealing to those team members that are not even in your circle yet, right? So yes, you know you're gonna be assertive and ensure that you're successful. However, always keep that door open to bring these people in.
Absolutely.
Don't just because you deplete yourself and you implode sometimes when you take that approach.
Yeah, you could burn out. Absolutely, when you're doing too much. So I definitely understand that aspect of it. I did a whole web series, and I ended up getting a bunch of people work with me. I worked with a couple hundred people between people who were acting, because I wanted to make sure everybody had exposure. It was a lot of music artists that was looking for different exposure. Our season finale ended up getting like 2.7 million views. I'm like, you see?
You did it.
Yeah, and their music was on there. They're getting paid from their music and everything. So it's like, look, I will incorporate as many people as possible. And these are street people, bro. This wasn't like...
It was the best kind.
You know what I'm saying? The people who you might think, or some might think, you can't work with. But for real, some of the most solid individuals that you're going to find. That's right? I'm in any crazy hood from Virginia to New York to Newark to Jacksonville, and we welcomed everywhere because they understood what we was doing. We reached out to the big homies, and everybody was like, yo, green light.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that you could work with damn near anybody as long as they have good intentions.
That's a fact. And as long as your intentions are good, you're going to attract the good person to work with.
Word. And that's another thing we have to understand. We have to be solid, right? Because your work is going to follow you. It's very quick that people get your name out and they're like, yo, what's up with this cat? Is he good? He good. He's solid. I wanted to hopefully get you into some more bars if we could before we get up out of here.
Yeah, for sure. Right? I got another interview right after this.
This ain't my set, so I can't throw the beat behind you. Pause. But definitely want to
let me see.
See what you got rolling.
Can't take it with us when we gone. Can't take it with us so we gone. Can't take it with us when we gone, so we gotta live life. I know I'm doing wrong. Damn, feels right. Too many thoughts in my head, too much pain in my heart. Opportunities lost, that shit tore me apart. Family left me for dead. I know it right from the start. God comes when it's time. I put it all in my art. Before I conquer my grind, I had to master my mind. I reached the top because I climbed. You see the blood in my eyes? No, the devil's a lie. We even stop and keep running. Finish line don't move. I fear nothing but God, so how the fuck could I lose? I'm in a world full of suckers, but I know how to move. I keep my hand on the 9, apply pressure this time, and I'm still in my prime. I got to give so I shine. For every night that I cry, I watch my mama get high. I got stabbed in the head. I came back from the dead. So my focus is money. You know, getting this bread. It's enough room in the sky. Birds don't crash when they fly. Don't give a fuck what you got. I'm only focused on mine. Too busy counting my blessings. No more running this time. All on this road. Nowhere to go. All I can see is my highs and my lows. Devils and demons, they wanted my soul. Pulling my body, I never would go. Sat in the cell. Plotting my vision, they died in my vision. I put it together, they pull it apart. Fame ain't shit. Breaking my heart. Daddy is gone, mama don't speak. Brothers ain't close, cracking my pocket. I stood in the rain. Chasing this paper, can't fuck with the fame. A L is a lesson. Never a loss. Ain't no blocking my blessing. I bet you I ball. Glock in my pocket. Cracking my jeans. Driving a rental I got from a fiend. Grand for hours, I got it for cheap. Yeah, I got it for cheap. So many nights I done ran through the city. Stacking my pennies. But they turning to Benjis and fuck what you talking, that shit don't offend me. Watch out for demons, they friendly. Smiling in your face, but they feed off your energy. Don't give them no energy. I move like it's tending me. I'm eating my Wheaties. You do not starve me because you do not feed me. Mama got high, my daddy got ghosts. Step on the stick, he said nowhere to go. When you fall off, they doing the most. Granddaddy died, cremated. I watch him turn to dust. I fear law. But in this pistol, where I put my trust, left prison with a plan. I got focused when I came out. Daddy gone. Mama fucking in the same house, and these bitches suck dick and throw dirt with the same mouth. Money make me more who I am. I can't change now. 8 brothers, stomach rumbling. I can't play now. You ain't sending Zelles. I'm dropping dollars in my PayPal. Blood turn to water. Yeah, family acting strange now. Feels like we miles apart, but we in the same town. Back against the wall, they tried to kill me, but I'm still breathing. Feels like I seen the devil swimming in my daddy's semen. Black Enterprise is America's nightmare. Moving base, trying to ball, we had the pitch right there. Yeah. Nana tried to tell me that life ain't fair. Rules of the ghetto. You could lose your life right there. Black cops, not us, they white as rice right there. It's like the blind lead the blindest on rice right there. Yeah, niggas screaming they want you to win, but want you to fail. It's like a blind man with no hands searching for braille. Yeah, they lit, but I've been rich. So focused I could probably hear fish piss.
Damn.
Still swimming in money. Cabot paddle the dough. Watch, say come. Glock, say go. Paparazzi the flow. Pennies ain't adding up. Dollars won't double. Feds throwing cameras on the drone to watch the hustle. Hoes might fuck suck, but they don't really love you. Family don't support shit. They just want to judge you. First you get respect, then the money. In that order. Because if you don't, soon as the money low, soldiers won't follow orders. Tents on the V so the paparazzi can't record us. Big chain. Carrots in the piece, but I had bunny ears. Made it out the barrel full of crabs, now I'm a millionaire. But this is for the single parent mothers working 2 jobs, trying to fill the shoes of pop, working too hard. Don't think because I'm riding in his truck, I don't know pain. Your present is my past, little homie, we the same. My mama got high too, daddy said bye too. No money for the fries at McDonald's, we skipped the drive-thru. Selling burgers, C-Town, I couldn't buy food. When you this type of poor, can't pick a chew. Devil Spring poured in a cup. I'm in a different groove. Daddy gone, mama getting high, plus we skipping school. Yeah.
Damn. Real bars right there. No nonsense. No nonsense. He came through. Killing them right here.
Yo, man, that's great, man.
But before you get out of here, I want you to let anybody know what type of things you got going on, anything up and coming. If people wanted to see you in person, where will you be? Like,
yeah,
as far as
I got a thing going on every Sunday. Shout out to ML, Monty Q, Leak, Dev Jeter, is my manager. We just partnered up. I did a strategic partnership with Hint Vision Studios. We're gonna be got a lot of stuff going on. I have an AMP program, which is the Amplify Artist Program. It's gonna be from Monday to Thursdays, workshops for artists and content creators, teaching them how to monetize and take their career to the next level. I have a one-on-one A&R thing going on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. That's called No Labels Tour, where we giving artists one-on-one sit-downs, listening to their music, showing them how to actually take their music to the next level, even if they're overlooked by a label, showing them that, hey, you don't have to sell your soul. You don't have to do no weird shit to be progressive and to elevating life. And that's it.
And your social media.
Oh, they know my shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my number,
I'm gonna put it up anyway.
They know my shit.
I'm gonna put it up.
But my number is 917-907-3687. Saying, holler at me if you need, some type of inspiration or motivation.
Gave out the numbers, man.
I'm here for us, man.
Real talk. Definitely respect. Appreciate you coming through.
Fact.
Been solid.
Yeah.
Listen, jump through, follow your man on social media. I'm gonna have it on here, right here for y'all. This episode is going to be dynamite. I can't wait to chop it up. We appreciate everybody who came through to look at it. And I would encourage you to share this with someone who you may think also finds value in it. And that should be everybody. You need to be sharing this damn video for real, for real.
That's a fact.
And until next time, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.